This is the plaintiff, Valerie Lozenak. She says she and the defendant have been friends since they were 13 years old, about 30 years. She ended up living with him for a while, and the house unfortunately caught on fire and she lost everything. The defendant received an insurance check for $60,000, and instead of giving it to her, he only turned over $11,000 of it and kept the rest. The guy's a professional gambler and probably needed it for a big loss or something. But what's right is right, so she's suing for $5,000 of what she's owed here today. This is the defendant, David Pearson. He says the insurance company, himself, and the plaintiff all agreed on a payout figure before one check was even printed. The plaintiff got what she agreed to. He has no idea why she's changing her tune now and coming after him. What's done is done, and that's it. He's accused of taking a lot that isn't his.
Thank you, Douglas. Valerie Lozenak?
Yes.
Okay, you are suing your former boyfriend, David Pearson, for $5,000 that you say he owes you after a fire broke out in his home and all of your belongings were destroyed. Tell me what's going on.
We purchased a home together, actually. He purchased it. We moved in together.
Okay, when you say this is both your home, or this is
We were a
only
couple.
his home?
We were moving in there
Well, I know
together.
you're a couple, but there's a big difference between that and it's your home. Is it your home?
In money-wise, no. Technically, it's his. He put up the money, the deed, and everything was in his name.
Okay, go ahead.
We were there for about 3-4 months. My daughter was cooking lunch.
How old's your daughter?
At the time, she was 24.
Okay.
She turned on the wrong burner on the stove, went upstairs to get my grandchildren
She turned
for
on a
lunch.
burner
She
of
turned on a
water
burner
to boil?
boil water for macaroni. She went upstairs to get the grandkids, bring them down for lunch. When she came down, the kitchen was in flames.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and there was no fire extinguisher to try to...
No.
All right, so what happened? You just got everybody out of the house?
She got everybody out of the house.
Were you
called the
there when this
No,
happened?
I was at work.
Okay. Fire trucks come?
Yes.
They pour a bajillion gallons of water? and
I'm
there's-
assuming so. Broke a lot of windows, did a lot
sure.
of damage to their own.
I mean, in an effort to contain the fire, which is the right and appropriate thing to do, there is so much destruction for the house, way more than the fire would have done by the time they're done. All right, so what happens?
They put out the fire.
Was he home?
No, he was in Atlantic City.
Were you still a couple?
Yes.
Okay. And he had gone off on vacation?
He went off to make his living.
What do you mean make his
He
living?
Gambles for a living.
You're a professional gambler?
I'm a poker player, yes.
Okay, so go ahead.
At the time.
At the time?
I called him from the scene of the house to let him know that the house was burning, and he proceeded to stay in Atlantic City.
Okay, well, I don't know that from Atlantic City he can get the fire extinguished,
No, but he
didn't
should
come
be there.
home.
It's his house.
Right.
It's, his house. We were
does he
supposed to,
live there with you when he's not in Atlantic City?
Yes.
All right, so go on.
Well, the contents of the house was mine. Everything in the house was mine except for a few items that he contributed. The insurance policy was in his name. He collected on it. I was given what I think is a small stipend for it for what belongs to me.
How much did you get to replace the items that were burned?
Total, I got $14,432.50. Overall,
How much did you feel that you should get? $19,000?
I should have gotten far more than that. He collected $51,948.46.
Well, I assume his house was destroyed.
That was just contents. That
Okay.
wasn't anything structural. Structural was a whole different policy.
Okay,
That
let me
money
see
was
all of the
just a-
paperwork. Let me hear from you. What's your answer to this?
Well, just on something, I just heard the comment to the settlement that I received was nowhere near 51,000. There was a crystal restoration cleaning bill that was taking out. The net of the checks was 51,000. There was broken down on the document
Yeah,
that
we'll
both
see
of
that
us
right now.
have.
So
But,
go ahead. You're in Atlantic City. You're
Yes.
playing poker.
Yes.
And were you able to keep your poker face on when they call you and tell you the house is
When
burning to a
Valerie
crisp?
called me and said, your house is on fire, I left immediately. I really don't understand why she said I didn't come home. I was trying to find out what was happening and, do you need me to be there?
Right.
She said, no, you don't have to come. We're signing the, anything with the fire chief is done, and we're signing the contract with the public adjuster. You just need to.
How long did you two date?
We've known each other for years and years. We were friends when we were 15, 16, 17, 18 years old.
Really?
She married a good friend of mine. I introduced her to him.
No kidding.
They divorced 10 years before we ended up running into each other again. They were
How'd you
divorced.
run into each other again?
She called out of the blue, and a friend of mine, matter of fact, the best man at my wedding, who was my best friend at the time when we were all hanging out, the three of us were pretty much inseparable. And we went bowling one night, and that's how we got back together again.
And then you dated for how long?
It was a year.
A
total,
year.
Yeah.
When did you decide to buy a house and move her and her entire platoon in?
Well, like I say, October of '08, this all started. We bought the house. We moved in February, Valentine's Day.
He says we bought the house too. Go
We
ahead.
moved in Valentine's Day. February 14th.
It's romantic
Yeah,
until now.
Yeah. And
then
we
it's
were
not so much.
the fire was May 31st.
Of the same year?
Yeah. We were in the house no more than 3 months.
Now, you
2.5
guys ended up
months.
splitting up.
We split up right around the time of the fire, yes, right.
And do you
shortly
feel like you
after.
split up because of the fire?
She just said that it wasn't working.
Oh, it was her choice?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she just basically said, look, we couldn't make it as a couple, so we'll work this out.
Why did you break up?
He was a little too controlling. He was
With the checks involved in
No,
this
not-
settlement or
no,
with other
well,
stuff?
A little before that, it probably could have been ironed out, but the final straw for me was when he didn't go see the fire until the following day. He did come home from Atlantic City. He was back in Connecticut that night, went to his mother's, then went out to the bar with a friend of his. He didn't go see the house or come see me or the kids until the next day I met him at the house. He looked at the house. The next day, he left for Vegas for 3 months, 2.5 months.
It's sort of hard to keep up a
And left
relationship
me,
that way.
left me kind of, handling everything
All right.
and
Now,
trying to
I
replace.
understand that the house is in your name, and I understand that the coverage is in your name.
Yes.
But if you receive a settlement for stuff that is hers, I can understand why she wants to lay claim to the money. Now,
Correct.
I guess you hired a professional adjuster to act basically like a liaison between you and your
Correct.
insurance company to make
Correct.
sure that you present
you
a claim
get-
in a way that you get top dollar.
Correct, right, to make sure that we get what
and then
we
they
deserve.
get their fees paid, which is 10% of
10%.
whatever the recovery is.
Yeah,
Okay. Was there a separate check for the structure?
there was, yeah.
Okay,
But
so
that was
the only
all-
thing in question right now in this lawsuit
Yes.
is this net proceeds to the insured's $33,000, because the cleaning bill, as you say, is part of the 51, and that doesn't count.
Correct, and-
$33,865.15.
Correct.
You say, how did this work out, though? Because if I'm
There
the
was-
insurance adjuster that you've hired, and I
Right.
see that things are sort of strained between you two,
Right.
and I'm worried that there's going to be a problem, I want to make sure everybody's in agreement beforehand.
All right. What happened was our relationship was a little bit in tatters at that time, so it was hard to talk to each other and to come up with something. What happened was the gentleman, the public adjuster or insurance adjuster, called me and he said, look, the settlement claim is in for the contents. He said, I have the checks. He said, we are not going to release anything until you guys agree. I know you guys are shaky in your relationship. He said, I'm not writing a check to Valerie until she tells me she's in agreement. So what he did, he asked us to get on the phone together. Now, earlier in our relationship, when I got back from that trip from Vegas, I went to jail.
Did you really?
I got
wait, before you
arrested.
go to jail, did you really go to Vegas?
I got arrested.
Wait, you come home, you see the fire, you go to Vegas,
Yeah.
you leave all that in her
Yeah.
hands?
When I
are you surprised that you got dumped? Seriously, come on. You don't even come home from Atlantic City? I'm surprised she waited until you were in Vegas to dump you.
Oh, don't forget, this is how I earn my living. This is how I'm
I
supposed to be.
understand how you earn
Right.
your living, but come on, you can't take 2 days off of work? Come on.
There was a restraining order issued after I got arrested. We got on the
Wait,
phone.
you got arrested by whom?
What happened
why?
was when I got home from Vegas, Valerie got on the phone with me and we were fighting over the initial part of the money, a contents claim that came, the advance check. It
Which was a check for $5,000.
Right, correct. And we were fighting over that check and how much money she should get out of it. What basically happened was she got me on the phone and got me to say the wrong thing. And the next thing I knew, the police were knocking on my door.
How did she, quote, get you to say the wrong thing?
Supposedly, I threatened her over the phone.
Well,
Yeah.
meaning what? Did she tape you?
No.
Then how did she, quote, make you threaten her?
Well, she knows how to push my buttons and get me angry.
So it's her fault?
No.
You look
No,
so
I'm not saying
easygoing,
that.
too. Isn't it amazing?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
You did say that. You said she got me to say, she got me to say the wrong things that got me arrested. How are you not saying it's her fault?
She did, trust me.
What was it he said, Valerie?
The conversation revolved around, he initially got a $5,000 check that got dropped off with me. One for $5,000 for contents, I have a copy of it. One for $10,000 for structural damage. He was initially supposed to deposit the one for $5,000 and give me money to put clothing on my kids' backs, my own back, things we need, diapers. I mean, we lost, everything in the house was gone. We were put in motel rooms with nothing but the clothes we were wearing and whatever I bought with a paycheck. He was refusing to give it. It got into a big argument. He threatened me with going after.
How did he threaten you? What did he say?
He threatened to call my employer. He threatened to go after my children. He'd hurt my children because he knew that's how he could get to me.
Wait, no, I don't want conclusions. I want facts. Exactly what did he say?
He said he would go after my children because he knew
how
was the.
After how? With
those
a baseball
were his words.
bat? With
I
what?
don't know.
What does that mean?
Those were his words. He would
I'm gonna go after
my
your children
because that's the fastest way to get to you.
Okay.
I didn't like it. I called the Stratford Police Department. They told me to come down, file a complaint. I did. They went and they arrested him.
Then what happened?
Did
you get a restraining order against him, or it was issued in the criminal case?
It was issued.
And then what happened?
Yeah, I would have to dispute what was said. That's not what was said.
What do you say?
I said to her, Valerie, you have me so angry right now that I feel like I could do something I shouldn't do.
As in what?
I didn't specify.
Okay. You were leaving that to Valerie's imagination?
I feel like I could get something and do something I would regret.
Okay. So what ends up happening? What happened with the $5,000?
The $5,000, while I was in Vegas, she was given $400 twice by my mother, cash. Okay. We fought shortly after that over what she should get. And so it ended up to where she just said to me, keep your money, we'll work, you know, whatever the case may be, we'll work it out. I don't remember exactly what she said. She said, keep your money.
So what is it you're saying? That you ended up keeping a portion of the settlement check on the contents based on money that she owed you?
Correct.
But what right do you have to do that? Did the two of you sit down and agree to this? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, like I said, Jim wouldn't release the money.
Jim is the adjuster.
The insurance adjuster wouldn't release the money until we actually sat down and agreed to it. So yes, I mean, it was over the phone. And there was
do you agree that there was this
writing.
Conversation with Jim, the adjuster?
I was told by Jim to take what he was offering me because Jim was ready to give Dave a check for the whole thing, that the policy was in Dave's name, and Dave was supposedly being generous, giving me what he was giving me, and he suggested that I take what he was offering and argue it in court later on.
Wait, he said that on the phone with the two of you?
No, he never spoke. It was never a three-way conversation between us. He called me, then he would call Dave, then he would call me.
Okay, so you got your legal advice from the adjuster?
He got fed up. He says, this is what you need to do.
So what did you do? Did you say, okay, and agree to what he was saying?
I'll take that, and I'll take it up with a lawyer later on.
Okay, except that you say that's not how it works because the whole point of him calling was to get an agreement.
Correct.
So that she's making up this part about, oh, he said, lie to me, tell me you agree. That way I can write the check, and then you can go to court and do it. And that doesn't sound believable, ma'am. If you don't want that check from him, don't take it. If it's not fair, don't take it.
So once you accept an insurance check and you sue again?
No, if there is documentation of you accepting a deal, you can't go back on a deal that you've already accepted.
You buying that?
Yeah.
So one bite of the apple and that's it?
That's it.
Final word.
Just like Brett Favre, you can't go back and ask for more money. You got to be satisfied with what you got.
God, I didn't think Brett Favre would show up in this case going inside the courtroom.
What you did was agree to take a 50% split, which would put us at what? What did you write her a check for?
I didn't write the check. Jim distributed.
Yeah,
he distributed
what was
two
your
checks.
check for?
$14,000.
$14,432.50?
Yes.
That's what he says it was. All right. Now, that would put us, even under your philosophy, shy some money to her.
Well, $14,400 she received plus $800 in cash she received.
That's right. But the math, why is Jim assuming that that $5,000 went to her when it didn't? You're admitting $5,000 didn't go to her, only $800 went to her.
No, correct.
So in other words, the net of all that is that if it's a 50-50 split, she's $1,700 shy still.
Correct, right. I would agree with that.
Oh, you do agree with that?
I do.
Okay. All right, folks.
However,
talk about the air conditioners. You're also suing for 4 air conditioners. Tell me about that.
He sold them with the house.
How do you know?
I went back and asked the owner if anything was left behind. She said the air conditioners were hers.
Did you tell the owner that those were your air conditioners?
I did, but she said they were part of what
Were
went
they part
into
of the house sale?
Correct. What happened was when I went to bring everything back to her, I had already shown the house with the realtor. And the realtor said to me, "What's going on with these air conditioners?" And I said,
Were
"I
those
don't."
air conditioners in use?
They were in the cellar, and I guess the potential buyers had shown some interest. Like, could we include those in the contract?
Okay. All right. So then you included
right.
them in the sale.
So he asked me.
There's not a specific number. They're just included in the sale of the
Correct.
house.
He asked me.
Stop. Do you have some proof of their value? How do you come up with the figure you come up with?
That's what they were purchased for about $199.97 at Lowe's.
Okay. Do you have
3
proof
years
of any of
earlier.
that?
No, because it was in the house fire.
Okay. I'm going to order that you pay her the $1,700 that is remaining on that 50-50 split that I find to have been the settlement between the two of you, because you can't lie and say, okay, I'll accept this in full and complete settlement of our claim, so give me that check. It's over between us. Everything's fine. You go your way. You go. I go my way. Then cash in the check and say, gotcha. I'm going to sue you for all this money. You can't do that. All right, so $1,700 for that, and I am going to assign an appreciated value because you don't get the value that you paid for the air conditioners, and this is the part where we do a little rough justice, and the amount of $300 for the air conditioners, and bring a net judgment in your favor in the amount of $2,000. Ready for the plaintiff.
All right, well, the defendant loses a chunk of that pot to the plaintiff. What's your reaction to this outcome?
I thought the judge was fair in everything that she said, and it's a shame that it had to end this way. Valerie and I were friends for so many years that it's done and over with now, though.
You won't miss her?
I probably will miss her.
Okay. All right, right down this way, all right? All right, so come on in here and you step in and tell me I'm satisfied you didn't get everything you sued for.
No, but it still taught him a little bit of a lesson that he can't take everything.
Mm-hmm. Why? He's a poker player, so what do you think?
I should
Is he
have known
greedy?
that going in. Yeah, greedy and controlling when it comes to cash.
Right. You think he values money more than...
He values money more than his own mother.
All right, Harvey.
Okay, this happens a lot where people get dissatisfied with what they accepted and then they want to go back again. If you're really not satisfied with what's being offered and you want the right to sue again, on the check, you should write in paid under protest, and you should write it above where you sign on the back of the check. Paid under protest. Generally, that preserves your rights.